Now, how the heck do they expect my dog to go poop right here with all these big rocks? That's why they put them there. You should never do that, man. I mean, somebody could pick that up and toss it through your windshield like a stripper who's unhappy with her living situation. I would never put those big boulders in my yard, that's for sure. It's too handy, too easy of an item to pick up and break somebody's window, car window. This river rock here is even worse. It's smooth edges. Women don't mind picking up smooth edge rocks. Rough edge, maybe they won't do it. Easy, boy. Easy. Easy. Just another beautiful day in paradise. Like I said on my previous video, we did find a blue jean. Oh, some of the pants. Some of the pants have elasties in them. They're like 98% cotton, 2% elastic. But some of them are 100% cotton. That's not a bad thing, gentlemen. I actually was even looking at, I was going to go full circle and get Levi's from back in the day, but we're not going to do that. We need to have we've got to have some fancy stitching and some ergonomically correct placed zippers and shit like that. Oh, hey, what's going on? You surprised me. He's not very friendly. He's not a friendly dog. He's not socially adjusted. Either am I. Okay, come on. That's Bucky boy. Big old boy Buck. Kill me. Oh, he'll kill me. Just sure shit he'll kill Dad. If he gets a shot at me. Right? Right? Good boy. Easy. Oh, he loves going far away from Dad. He loves going far away from me. That's Bucky boy. Okay, I gotta keep you close. We're gonna go on the trail. We're gonna go on the break right to the trail here. I don't want him to rub this leash up against the block wall, so we'll keep them tight right now. Come on. That's Bucky, boy. Hey, big old boy, Bucky. Yeah, 60 will be back. She's just going through a rough patch right now. She's at the end of her cycle. So there's a lot of discharge coming out of her and shit. Left. I just want to show them this chute. That's it. One of these days we're going to do a different walk. I never remember to do it, but we're going to go walk through the park. Not on a weekend, a weekday. Be too many people down there, too many dogs. But right during the week it'd be better. Big old boy, Bucky. Good boy, good boy. Big old boy, Bucky. He's a big old boy, Pastor Boy. Daddy. These queen palms, they die in the cold unless you wrap them with burlap in the winter. Kind of a pain in the ass. Hello. Ooh, there's some good whiteboard there. Good trim whiteboard. Sometimes you need that stuff. You have to put a screen door in or something, it can be quite beneficial. You know, my head is cold now. We gotta put this back on. There's a bit of it's a little chill out. And then the wind howling past my ears can be quite traumatic. Easy, easy, easy. Left. Good boy, good boy, good boy. Good boy. Like I said, these dogs are highly trained, they're highly motivated, highly paid. Watching Chris Pine and Ben Foster's The Contractor for the second time last night. hard to find anything good. You know, I was ranting and raving about Hulu, and yes, I did hit, I don't know, 4 or 5 really good movies. But as of lately, you know, going through the list, you know, you watch them for like 2 or 3 minutes and you realize I can't watch this shit. So the movies on Hulu are starting to drop, like John Travolta's Mobland. Can't watch that. Hey, get out of there. You know, Bruce Willis has done anything Bruce Willis did in 2022 is pretty bad. I can see why he got out of acting. I mean, he used to be a hot commodity, but you know, when the role offers dry up, you take what's on the table, and a lot of times it's shit. And he did a lot of shitty fucking movies from 2018 to 22 or 23-ish. Then of course he was diagnosed with dementia per se. So we retired from acting. Val Kilmer recently died, 65 years old, from pneumonia. He was the stud in Top Gun, and Tom Cruise was the midget. Just one man's opinion. But in any case, he died. Oh, let's see here. Oh yeah, of course. Trying to remember this other guy's name. Gene Hackman died about a month and a half ago, ish. It's amazing, you know, how these actors drop off, you know what I'm saying? Gene Hackman was 95, Val was 65. Come on. Oh man, I'm glad I put my hat back on. I'm having an ear issue. I cannot take cold wind to my ear, and I'm finding out that I can't take excessively loud music either. You know, when I play music in my car and Jeep, it's like I feel that ear saying, turn it down.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Oh. Jesus. All right. I don't think the garbage people came yet. The ones that empty these 2 containers. The blue lid is recyclable. Black lid is garbage. So I still have mine out. We need to get those. Those are. I had a lady that moved out, another lady that moved in, but the lady that moved out, you know, her room was full of trash, full of junk. 6 55-gallon containers of junk. You know, all kinds of bullshit that she didn't clean out, and she probably wouldn't have cleaned out. You know, she's she would have probably died trying to clean it out. Overweight, you know, having problems with her hips, her knees, her feet. She would have died trying to clean it out. But in any case, I just strap on a pair of rubber gloves, which I had to buy some more, which I did. And I take care of it, you know, fill up those containers, and I got those containers out there, all have to be emptied by the trash guy. And we'll show you a little something here, and we did get a couple other things. We've got to go to Home Depot, get some rope. I'm going to show you, we did get our pool noodles in. We're going to keep this down here too. These are pool noodles, gentlemen. I didn't want this color, but I wanted they had green and blue ones, but this is all that was left. And what you're gonna end up doing is you're gonna end up putting this across the front of your Jeep. You're gonna add a small 10-inch piece here, another 10-inch piece here, and you're gonna bungee it down. Then you're going to put another one right here, run a rope with a bungee through the cab. Another one right here, run a rope and a bungee through the cab. Another one right here, run a rope and a bungee through the cab. And then you're going to run another one right here, and it actually runs right there end to end. And then you will run a rope through the center. You put a small string and suck it through with a vacuum cleaner, and then attach the rope that you're going to use to it. And then you'll run a bungee down to, say, here. Hook it right here. Make sure it's pretty taut. I'm getting some bungees too. I ordered bungees on Amazon, but they got to be shipped back. They're too thin and not enough stretch. They're cheap bungees. I think I've done this before with Amazon and I didn't remember. So we're going to go down to Home Depot and we're going to get the good ones. You know what I'm saying? That stretch a long distance. And for this particular case right here, the rope will probably end here. So we need probably at least a 2-footer. And if it's not strong enough, you can tie a knot into it and make it an 18-inch. So you'll hook it here. Then you're also gonna, I've got 6 of these, I need 5. So you'll cut a piece and it'll go right here. You'll cut it about right here. And then you'll run a string through here, suck it through with a vacuum cleaner, and you will make the string long enough to where you can tie it off here, hook it, and tie it off here. So the string will never come out of the string will never come out of the styrofoam. So from here, when you tie a bungee down, what you're trying to do, gentlemen, is make it so that the tarp, you're going to string a tarp over your Jeep to keep it cool. But you do not want that tarp rubbing against your Jeep. So you're going to take these and the tarp will touch this. Yes, it will still rub against your Jeep, but nowhere near as bad. There'll be a bungee coming down right here at the end of the tarp. And you will put where it touches the Jeep, you will put this. So you're gonna have that and this. This will be the end of the tarp. So it'll be, that's what will be touching the Jeep, not the tarp rubbing up against your Jeep. And then you'll run a bungee. I think the tarp comes down to about right here-ish. and then you'll hook up bungee to it and tie it off to your wheel. And then there's another grommet around here somewhere. You'll do the same thing. It'll tie off to this bumper footstep right here. And then of course you'll tie it off to the front too, you know what I'm saying? The tarp will run, you know, it'll probably wrap around the bumper here, and you'll there's a grommet, and you will run a bungee to the suspension system or whatever. What you're trying to do essentially, guys, oh, that's right, the girl that moved out, she did have a spaghetti noodle here too, same color as a matter of fact, but this one I will use to cut. I will put a piece here, you'll put a piece here, and these will tie up. You'll have a string coming out. There's a bolt right here. You loosen it and you just stick that string through there. It holds it in place. This way the tarp doesn't rub against your Jeep, you know what I'm saying, but yet it keeps your Jeep cool. Does that make sense, guys? It better, because this is a high-tech, these things are extremely light. This is something you'll get to camp. You'll be drinking a beer, relaxing, and you'll just set this all up, because you're going to probably be there for 2 or 3 or 4 days, maybe 2 weeks. But the plan is to stay about 2 weeks, 16 days in Idaho, in probably the same spot. So you'll have your Jeep all set up. You're going to be taking your trailer with you. You're going to be taking your street bike with you. This is what you'll take to town to get supplies, your street bike, and you'll have your dirt bike with you. You'll have your 2 electric mountain bikes with you, a generator. Everything will go on the trailer. All 5 of these spaghetti noodles, swimming pool noodles here, they'll be bungeed together and tied down on the trailer, you know, along with a green bag that has your water containers in it, possibly your dirt bike helmet, possibly your chainsaw, you know, typical stuff that you need to take on a camping trip. The chainsaw, you may want to cut some firewood. It can cut it up real quick and easy. You know, I do have a propane fireplace too, but a lot of places you go, they don't allow fireplaces. You don't want to have you don't want to take responsibility for setting some type of fire. So I can very easily light a propane fireplace, and I'm a very happy camper. You know, a lot of times I need to have the propane to cook my dinner also. So, but in any case, we're going to take these 2 down. This is just one tarp, should go from here all the way across the Jeep. There'll be 2 tie downs going through grommets right here. It'll string all the way across the front of the Jeep. There'll be a grommet tied down to the suspension here on both sides of the Jeep, of course, gentlemen. Then you'll take another tarp, and it'll tie, the end of the tarp will be here. Here's the grommet. Well, no, not the grommet, but the tarp will rest inside of this little groove here. The end is the grommets down here, and then you fire it down to your wheel. When you need to get in and out of your Jeep, you release those 2 grommets and open the door, or maybe possibly 3 grommets. And that allows you to get into your Jeep. So on both sides, you can release them on both sides to get to the cooler. However, I'm not sure yet, but I think this would be too inconvenient. I think having the cooler on this side, where you open it up on this side, is much better. You know what I'm saying? And I'll probably keep it that way, but if you're in a spot, you may, yeah, I guess you could. You could turn this cooler around to where you open it up from this side, but so you don't even have to open the other doors. It would be better that way, but you need to have everything underneath that seat accessible, so you'll put a lot of the stuff on top of this seat. You may not open the driver's side door either, is what I'm saying, once you get to a spot. There's your Plinkster gun. And of course, we still have our that's a Ruger. This is a Ruger 1022 Target Light. I do have the 25 round banana clip for it. That's an Athlon scope there, 8-34 with a 56 millimeter objective lens right there. There's a scope leveling bubble on it. There's an illuminated turrets in there. So it's a very good scope for these kind of guns. You know what I'm saying? If this was a deer rifle, I would get a much more refined scope than this. You know what I'm saying? But this thing looks, you know, with the turret adjustments and then the illuminator here, you know, it looks like, holy fuck, that's a fucking badass scope. But even with say I were to get a better scope with a deer rifle, which I'm not going to do. I'm not going to buy that gun anymore. But you would get a, I can't remember the brand, but it's a very expensive scope. But you would also get one of these on it, you know what I'm saying? A leveling bubble for the scope. Make sure that you're not canting the rifle, you know what I'm saying? That type of shit. But that's a little Plinkster. We do have ammunition with us. We've got a box of ammunition. We do have all the clips. I'm actually going to put my other gun in here too, my CZ457. And of course, there is a gun lock on here, so you can't just open the door and take off with it. So, you know, unless you have a pair of bolt cutters to cut that cable right there, it's going through the trigger guard. So you could have it going through the stock too if you wanted to, but the trigger, you know, I could see somebody maybe breaking or cutting this, but the trigger guard is a whole nother enchilada, so. Excuse me. But anyways, yeah, all of this stuff here